Welcome back. We are now going to begin working in the email section. Now we will cover the accounts icon, forwarders icon, and spam icons in separate videos. So the first pertinent tab we want to look at is going to be the email routing tab. What we are doing is we're routing the email coming through a specific domain to a specific place. So when we select a domain, you have the ability to change how your email is routed. Now currently, your email is all going to come onto a local server that resides on your system with your domain. The default setting says it's going to automatically detect configuration. However, that configuration is going to send it to the local mail exchanger. Right, so unless you have a specific reason for using anything other than the default, you want to leave this as the local mail exchanger because this will allow you to use programs like Outlook to gather the email and draw it into your desktop or a cloud-based service like Gmail or Microsoft. Now, you also have available to you autoresponders. And if you click inside of the autoresponders link, what you'll find is that you can set an auto-response so that any email that comes to an email address that you created will send an auto-response if there's a case where you want a message to go out automatically without your having to open it. Perhaps there's a situation you're dealing with, you can't get the email right away, but you want a response to go out. You can set this autoresponder, and all you'll need to do here is you'll need to create autoresponder. And you'll set the number of hours that you want the response to go out. You can set your email. What you'll do is you'll decide which email that this is going to actually come from. Then you'll write a body, and you can determine when this is going to start. You can start the auto response at a specific period of time. And you can set when it's going to stop. Once you've done that, you'll click Create and Modify. And your auto response will be set. Now, one thing to note is that when you create this autoresponder email, you're going to want to create a forwarder so that you'll actually get the email that someone sends while these autoresponses are being sent by your server. You can have one default email address so that anything that is sent to one domain, you can have it sent to a specific email address. Now what this will do is this will collect any email that's sent to an invalid email address but sent to your domain. So if you have an email address that is already set up, well, that email address is going to get its regular email that someone would send. However, let's say that someone is one letter off in the email address. Well, where would that email go? Well, it would go to the default address if you have it set up. You can create mailing lists with contact people. However, typically you would use an autoresponder, so we're not going to go into mailing lists. We're going to take a look at tracking delivery. And very briefly, if there is an email that is sent from your server and that email failed or it is blocked, you can get access to a report as to its delivery track. That delivery track will include a spam score. Now we can create filters for all of the email in our account. If that's the case, we'll use the global email filters. We'll click Create a New Filter. We'll give the filter a name. And basically, we're going to set the parameters for this particular filter. So any email that comes to or from, we can determine what that is. And then we can determine a specific action. So basically, we have an unlimited number of rules that we can set for all of the email that comes into our account. And all we'll need to do once we set the rule is to then click Create. To add another rule, we'll just click this plus button. We can do the same thing for individual email addresses at the email filter level. And once again, we can set that filter now for an individual email address. Now, one other item that you may use will be the authentication link. Now, DKIM verifies incoming email, and as it does, it keeps you from getting email that was sent from someone pretending to be another individual. You can also set the SPF. And what this does is this allows you to determine which email addresses or which services can use your email address, indicating that they are authorized to send email on your behalf. And we can do that by clicking the Enable button. Now in the advanced settings, it's quite possible that your host will do this work for you. Specifically, if you have a case with an autoresponder like Aweber that wants to have a record indicating that it has permission to send email on your behalf, you'll want to add that record according to their instructions. And this is the section that you will use. Now, every autoresponder will be different in terms of the record that they're going to have you put in here. And you'll need to make sure that you understand how your server will interact with that specific information from your autoresponder or any other service. So it's a good idea, if you have an autoresponder, is to check on authentication and what your record should be, and to update this at the conclusion of this video. So once you've made all the changes you want to make, you'll then click Update. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video.